The white liberal is the worst enemy to America and the worst enemy to the black man. The liberal is more deceitful than the conservative. The liberal is more hypocritical than the conservative. Liberal is a nasty name. Liberal represent hypocrisy. Oh, hi there. You just caught me doing one of my favorite Friday afternoon activities. Reading quotes from the Mr. Malcolm X. There's plenty more I could go through, and these were just a few clips from longer quotes. But there's plenty more here on this website. But let me take these off. I don't even wear glasses. That was really, really unfreaking comfortable. Today I want to talk about quotes. I see many people here on the Facebook who like to quote. Well, copy and paste and share quotes from random sources. So today I want to go through a few quotes from a few different people that I see many times, depending on the current events that the people on television tell people to worry about, is when you'll see these different quotes pop up. So let's go through a couple of those, starting with this guy, Mr. Malcolm X. The Negro Revolution is controlled by these foxy white liberals, by the government itself, but the Black Revolution is controlled only by God. Malcolm X. Wise words, sir. Wise words. Now, he's also said stuff like this. The white man was created a devil to bring chaos upon this earth. Malcolm X. You see, my point is, people have a change of heart with these things. Malcolm X was much more wise than a lot of people did give him credit for, with the whole Muslim thing and blah, 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 blah. But then he said stuff like this to kind of make up for it. In the past, yes, I have made sweeping indictments of all white people. I never will be guilty of that again, as I know now that some white people are truly sincere, that some truly are capable of being brotherly toward a black man. The true Islam has shown me that a blanket indictment of all white people is as wrong as when whites made blanket indictments against blacks. Malcolm X. Now, you can dismiss the whole Islam part there. I mean, you can't take it out of the quote. It is part of it, I'm not saying that, but he had a change of heart about Islam too. But the quote I really like from Malcolm X that sums up what I'm trying to say with this particular, with him particular, is this one. And it shows my thoughts and emotions on it. The next day when I was in my car driving along the freeway, when at a red light another car pulled up alongside. A white woman was driving, and on the passenger side, next to me, was a white man. "Malcolm X!" he called out, and when I looked, he stuck his hand out of his car, across from me, grinning. "Do you mind shaking hands with a white man?" Imagine that. Just as the traffic light turned green, I told him, "I don't mind shaking hands with human beings. Are you one?" Malcolm X. He took the color out of it. That's what I'm saying. The white guy, "Do you mind shaking hands with a white man?" And he says, "I don't mind shaking hands with human beings." He took the color completely out of it. That's what I'm trying to do here. The color doesn't matter. Every time I see these articles, white man kill black man, blah blah, they always have to differentiate. When it's the other way around, I've noticed a lot of time they just state where he's from, his age, and that he's a man. But whatever. So next up, we'll take a few quotes from this guy. Yeah, we all know this guy. I took a trip to Birmingham, and twice actually, and Went to go see his house there and go on the tour of the museum. It's very, very cool. It's very, very touching. They have photos that you can't see anywhere else. You're not allowed to take pictures out of respect. So let's go through a few quotes by him. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Do what you see going on in the streets make you think of darkness? Or light? Or love? I don't see the last two anywhere in what I see going on out there. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. MLK Jr. That's an interesting one. Because that applies to both blacks and whites, and any skin color, I'd say. Again, taking the color out of it. He didn't mention my 4 little black children. He didn't say my 4 little Negro children, my 4 little minority children, my 4 little oppressed, enslaved children. He said my 4 little children. Who, yeah, happen to be black. That's irrelevant, though. He dreams of all little children, regardless of their skin color. Does Black Lives Matter stand for that? In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. That brings me back to you activists out there. You guys get mighty silent when the people on TV stop talking about it. And when your friends who are so deeply ingrained in the movement for all their life have been fighting for all this justice, dream defenders, when they stop talking about it, you guys go mighty quiet. Nonviolence is a powerful and just weapon, which cuts without wounding and ennobles the man who wields it. It is a sword that heals. Yes, violence is sometimes the answer, but not like this. Violence is the answer when you are in fear for your life and there is someone currently trying to kill you. Yeah, violence is then the absolute answer. Setting your city on fire and taking it over, like in Seattle, only going to end up in more pain and misery, and probably death. Alright, next up, let's take a look at her. Anybody know who she is? Susan B. Anthony. Yes, the women's suffrage movement. How can we forget? She once said, "I always distrust people who know so much about what God wants them to do to their fellows." Which side? The right or the left? And you know what I'm talking about when I say that. Which side do you think fits in with that? I hear a lot of the people from the left talk a lot about how much they pray. Like Pelosi, I pray for the president. I pray for the president. And this is what God would want. God would want to impeach him, right? Please. She also once said, "Whoever controls work and wages controls morals." That is true on either side. However, I see a lot of the left, well, when I say the left in this case, I mean people like the Dream Defenders and BLM and whatnot, and Antifa, that they want to control who works. They want to control how much you get paid. They also, coincidentally, want to control your morals. Something to chew on, that's all. Now, let's come up to this chick. How many of you know who she is? That is Margaret Sanger. She is the one who founded Planned Parenthood. Now, I could go through an entire list here of some of the absolute wild shit that broad has said. But I want to key in on one in particular. Before I'll go through a couple of them, they're too good. But from my view, I believe there should be no more babies. The most merciful thing that the large family does to one of its infant members is to kill it. Now, these are clips from longer quotes.